Yes, save a little for us, please.
They won't.
Well, we are joined with probably the most popular man out here at IMS, Doug Boles, the president of IMS and IndyCar, and we're excited to have him here this morning.
We always talk about how you're so busy in the month of May, but then last night I'm like, are you able to sleep? And I see that you were out until the wee hours of the morning with race fans.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, that's my one moment during the month where you just kind of, I take the tie off, put a sweatshirt on, and just go out and hang out with fans. And there's a group of folks that we sing Back Home Again in Indiana right at midnight. So we did that, and then just kind of walking them down. I buy beignets from the beignet place on Georgetown Road, and then we go out in the neighborhoods and you walk in people's houses, and they're like, "Who's walking up the driveway?" And then it turns into a big party.
Wait a minute, you go in people's houses?
Because they have, you can tell when they're having a party. So you either just you walk in or you knock on the door, and the last thing we saw before I got back here was we're walking across like 21st Street. And we're looking up front. Does that guy have raccoons all over him? So this guy's covered in raccoons.
Real raccoons?
Baby raccoons.
Oh,
it was crazy.
Gosh.
Oh, I thought you meant like a costume.
No. Real raccoons. It was crazy.
I would want to have seen that. This has kind of been a crazy week for you.
It has.
Your boss is Mr. Penske.
Yes.
You had to give the biggest penalty to Team Penske this week. How does that go down in the boss's office?
It was a tough telephone call, right? Obviously, the great thing about him is he's always kind of let me run the speedway, and certainly on the IndyCar side, he's the same. And that was just a challenging moment, and picking the phone up to call him to let him know what we were going to do. He just said, yes, you have to do what you want to do. Thanks for letting me know. And then I talked to him later afterwards, and it really hurt him to his core, and he obviously made some changes to the team there, and I know that hurt him even more because some of those relationships he had, especially the one with Tim, is really important. Him
25 years,
still
right?
is. I mean, Tim is a fantastic guy, loves this place more in IndyCar more than anything, but I think at that point Roger just felt like we got to try and do something to get the team back on track.
Yeah. And it's been a tough week for a lot of people. I know that we talked about some of the ways that the track will be honoring late Colts owner Jim Irsay today. How is that happening today?
We're excited about being able to have Casey Foyt Irsay. Casey Mears was a NASCAR driver. Right. Casey Foyt Irsay on the stand, the flag stand there. We were trying to think about what's the best way to do that. And I think on that stage, the Irsay family and certainly Jim Irsay has done so much for our community, putting us on the map. I saw her yesterday as an accident at the Starbucks downtown and told her a story of going to Japan with the IndyCar races and being in a car for 2 hours with somebody that barely spoke English, trying to explain where we were from. And I said, we said Indianapolis, and I thought he was going to say Indy 500. He says Indianapolis Colts. At that point in time, you realize that Jim Irsay had taken us and turned us into a football city. And having her in the flag stand to start the 109th running of the Indy 500, I think is pretty appropriate.
Yeah, I think that is a great call. We so appreciate you stopping by. We know you're the busiest man out here, as we mentioned, on race day, but we also know you turn into a very avid fan of one Connor Daly once the race starts. So.
Yeah, it's certainly he's my stepson, and it's funny. I write a note to the end of everybody at the end of the race and thank them for everything, and his is the only one I said love you at it, right? Because he's family and love Connor, and he's had a great week, and I know he's really excited. And I think this place would explode if a local guy, even like an Ed Carpenter or somebody from here, won the 500. It'd be pretty special.
Right. We want to thank you for your time. We know you have so many more stops to make, but we always appreciate you chatting with us before race day. We're going to head back out now to Anna and Sam. Where are you guys? Who are you seeing?